Finally Seen by Kelly Yang. I listen to the quiet hum on the plane and the not-so-quiet flutter of my heart in my chest. This is it. Another 6 hours and I will finally see my parents and my sister again. I try to picture Mum and Dad's faces when I land, except I keep picturing Marge and Homer Simpson, only Asian, with shorter hair and a less smart Lisa, hopefully. I guess that's what happens when you haven't seen your family in 5 years and you've watched a lot of subtitle Simpsons episodes. I was starting to give up on the whole going to America thing until my mum called 6 weeks ago. Lala told me you're doing your middle school applications, Mum said, and you're writing an essay on your parents being in America? I nodded, coiling the phone cord around my fingers. Is that not a good topic? I asked. No, she said. It's just, what are you going to say? I shrugged. I like writing, but not as much as I like drawing pictures. But art is a sure way to get kicked out of any school in Beijing, let alone Beijing Normal Middle School No. 3, where I was applying. It was my Aunt Jing's middle school. She now had a fancy tech job in Shenzhen. She says there's no future for artists in China. Beijing Normal will get the art out of me and turn me into a steady workhorse like her. Well, Mum asked. I felt a rush of heat spread across my forehead. Here was my chance to really tell her how I felt about being left behind all these years. I was only 5 years old when she left. I thought she was going on a work trip. I didn't even understand. Most of all, how could she take Millie, my little sister, and not me? My sister got to grow up with my parents. Me? I grew up with postcards from my parents. But as usual, my voice was locked in the chamber of my throat. There are things I don't want to tell anyone. Well, except Lau Lau. My grandmother, Lau Lau, is my Moon and my Wilson. Like the volleyball in Castaway, another movie I binged. She is my companion in my waiting city. That's what Beijing feels like to me. Just me and Lau Lau waiting. It used to be me, Lau Lau, and Lao Ye. But last year when Lao Ye passed away, our trio of tea leaves went down to 2. Now I am Lau Lau's human alarm clock. I wake her up every day at 6 a.m. Dumpling steamer, pu'er brewer, flower waterer, and medicine fetcher. I know how much she needs me. I'm all she's got left, which is why some feelings are too hard to even tell her. Instead, I catch them and tuck them behind my cheek. Lala says that's the way to succeed in China. Every morning, Lala reminds me to go to school, make your parents proud, and watch your words, lest they label you a bad apple. She grew up in the era of the Cultural Revolution, and her father was thrown in jail for being a bad apple. Even though that was a long, long time ago, the memory of it never really left. She's always telling me to sew up half my mouth. I imagine an invisible thread running along my mouth, my lips stitched like a sock. But the thing about some feelings is they just don't go away. Instead, they form a tight ball at the base of my throat where they sit and they wait, planning their escape from the thread. And one day, just when you least expect it, they shoot out like a rocket. And that's exactly what happened that rainy Beijing spring day when Mum called. Do you really want to go to Beijing Normal No. 3? Mum asked. I looked over at my Lau Lau, craning her head eagerly to catch snippets of our conversation. She put her kneading needles down and massaged her hands. Her arthritis had gotten so much worse since Lao Ye passed. She could hardly keep knitting. The doctors in China had warned her that this day would come. They told her to do more acupuncture and to get out and exercise. But Lala was born in the year of the ox. She does not like anyone telling her what to do. I turned away from Lau Lau, held the phone close to my face, and cupped a hand around my mouth. No, I whispered. No, I want to go to school in America. Please, Mama, I want to come. And with that, I chose my future over my past.